How is it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Ethan Bridge and I'm host of the Social Media Marketing School podcast and the guy behind the Instagram page at The Marketing Ethan. Now, something we haven't spoken about on this podcast for a while now is hashtags. Instagram hashtags. But one thing I did want to mention before I jump into these strategies is just that you should not be relying on hashtags. You cannot blame you getting no reach from hashtags for the low engagement on your content or the slow growth of your account. Hashtags is just a tiny cog in the big picture. I see any extra reach I get from hashtags as a bonus. Don't come to me and go, "Oh, Ethan, I tried your hashtag strategy, but everything you taught didn't work." That's not because the hashtag strategy is wrong. It's because the content you are producing in the first place isn't at the standard it needs to be. When it comes to ranking on hashtags, it all comes back round to the algorithm. The algorithm wants to keep people on the platform. If your content in the first place isn't good enough to do that, then it's obviously not going to rank your content on hashtags. So before you complain about hashtag reach, you need to make sure that your content is of the highest quality in the first place, because that's the foundation to the whole hashtag strategy. It all begins with the content you are producing. When you are producing amazing content, that is when you then get the opportunity to rank on hashtags. So now that I've just got that little point out the way, let's dive into hashtags themselves and how they actually work. So I'm going to talk through two different strategies today. I'm going to talk through the hashtag ranking ladder and then hashtag stacking. The hashtag ranking ladder essentially explains why hashtag stacking works so well. So we'll start off with the hashtag ranking ladder and then we'll talk about hashtag stacking. So essentially what the hashtag ranking ladder means is that there are different levels to the hashtags you should be using. So if you go onto a hashtag and you search it, at the top it's going to tell you how many people have created content for that specific hashtag. You're going to get small, you're going to get medium, you're going to get large, and you're going to get very large. And each one is a level of the hashtag ranking ladder. So small is between 0 and 50k. Medium is between 50k and 100k. Large hashtags are 100k to 500k. And then extra large is anything above 500,000. So you need to look at it this way. The easy hashtags, the small hashtags, so the 0 to 50,000 post hashtags, are the easiest to rank on, because there's not as much competition. You should not, if you have a small account, be filling your 30 hashtags with hashtags that have 1 million plus posts. There is far too much competition there. And your small account is not going to be able to compete against people with the likes of 1 million followers. They are going to be the people that rank on those hashtags because their content performs well. Now, obviously, I don't know how many followers you have, but let's just say you have 1,000. You are not going to rank on that 1 million hashtag post. So you need to be focusing on those smaller hashtags, because the way the hashtag ranking ladder works is you have to rank on the small before you rank on the medium, and you have to rank on the medium before you rank on the large, and you have to rank on the large before you rank on the extra large. Instagram isn't just going to shove your post to the top of the extra large hashtag because it wants to be nice to you. It has to test the waters with the smaller hashtags first. And if you perform well on the smaller hashtags, that's when it realizes, okay, people are enjoying this content. They're staying on the platform because of it. Let's rank them on the next level of hashtags. And then it will see how you do there. And then if your post performs well there, it's going to keep pushing you up the ladder. But you're not going to rank on the next level until you rank on the previous. So that's how it works. You've got the small, you've got the medium, you've got the large and the extra large. And you have to move up that ladder. So now we understand how the hashtag ranking ladder works. Let's talk a little bit about hashtag stacking. So hashtag stacking is essentially you have 4 sections. Similar to what we had with the ladder, you've got 4 sections to your pyramid. This is how it's going to end up. Visually, this might be something that's quite difficult to establish whilst listening to the podcast, but I'm going to try and explain it in the best way possible. Your foundation is going to be made up of the easy to rank hashtags, those 0 to 50,000 post hashtags. Now, if you're a small account, I suggest you have 16 hashtags within this level, that 0 to 50,000. That is your foundation. And we're going to see that 16 as a very wide base. Because as I said, with the ranking ladder, you're not going to rank on the medium ones until you rank on the small. So you want to fill out your base with as many of these small hashtags as possible to give you the best opportunity to rank on them. And then on the medium level, we're going to have 9 hashtags. So we're going to have 9 hashtags between 50 and 100,000. But you can see here we've already used up 25 of our potential 30 hashtags. Before you might have been thinking, right, I'm just going to use all the massive hashtags because they have the potential to get the most reach. But I'm telling you the complete opposite. You are using 25 out of your 30 hashtags on hashtags that have less than 100,000 posts. 16 of those being less than 50,000. And then you're only going to have 4 between 100,000 to 500,000 and just the one above 500,000. And we have just one there just in case you do eventually get the opportunity to rank on it. You always just want to have one there just in case. But you can see now how it's starting to stack up and how it's beginning to look like a pyramid almost. You've got 16 in the bottom, so you've got a very wide base. You've got a slightly slimmer next level with 9, and above that you've got 4, and above that you've got 1. So it's going up in sort of that pyramid shape. So you've set the foundation with the small hashtags, with the majority of the hashtags that you're using on your post, over 50%, only slightly, but still over 50%, because they are the easiest to rank on. And when you rank on those, that gives you an opportunity to rank on the next level. And because you've got 9 in there, you've got quite a few with a possibility to rank on, which again gives you a good opportunity, which then can push you up to the next level and the next level. So for your hashtag strategy, you are combining the hashtag ranking ladder with the hashtag stacking method. And that's it. That is what I do with my hashtags. You don't have to overcomplicate these things. But as I said, it's not going to work for every single one of your posts. It just won't. Hashtags are one of those things that 1 minute you do amazing with, the next minute nothing seems to be going right. Happens with me. Happens with everyone. I highly doubt, unless somebody has millions upon millions of followers, that they're consistently ranking on hashtags with every single post they create. And that's why I say you shouldn't rely on your hashtags being the thing that get the reach for your post. Never blame them. Never ever blame hashtags for low engagement or no new followers. Because that should all come from the engagement you are doing with these other accounts. You're finding these new accounts to follow you because you're engaging with their content, and then they engage with your content because of that engagement reciprocation. Because all of these things you need initially to help with this hashtag strategy, because your post is only going to appear like it performs well if people are actually engaging with the content you produce. So that's why your engagement strategy and your actual content strategy lay the foundations to everything else you do and the potential reach of the content you produce. And that's why hashtags are just one tiny cog in the bigger picture. But that is the personal strategy that I use. Other people might use different strategies, but this is what I found works for me, and it's why I follow it. So I hope if you didn't have a hashtag strategy before this is something to help. But before I round up the episode, there are just 2 other things I want to add. Always use the 30 hashtags. You get the opportunity to use 30, so make sure you are using them. But I would also mention that you should make a few different sets of hashtags. You don't want to look robotic with your strategy because that highlights to the algorithm that you are just copying and pasting over and over again. I'd have a few different sets that jumble up hashtags that aren't used in previous so that it doesn't look like you're just copying and pasting hashtags over and over again, appearing like a bot or a robot. So have a few different sets you can cycle through to keep those hashtags fresh. Again, just a tiny little thing that could affect, may not affect, I'm not entirely sure, your hashtag performance. So combine hashtag stacking with the hashtag ranking ladder. Use all 30 hashtags and make sure you are just cycling through a few different sets of hashtags when you put them on your content. And that wraps up today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and turned on post notifications. But I did just want to mention that this is a part of my podcast series, Social Media Marketing School, and the audio version of the podcast is the place to be. So I'm going to leave some links to that in the description down below. So make sure you're selecting your preferred podcast listening platform and subscribing over there. But if you've got any questions with regards to pretty much anything I've mentioned in today's video, please just reach out to me on Instagram at @themarketingethan. Send me a DM and I'll make sure I get back to you no matter what. But if you have made it to this point in the video, I just want to finish off by saying thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.